Hello. Today we begin lesson 5-1 multiplying integers. If you're watching this, hopefully you already watched the Khan Academy YouTube video that I posted in Google Classroom. If not, it looks like this. So you should have watched this. It's going to kick on in a second.
We know that if we were to
Where
multiply
they
2
explain
times
multiplying
3,
positive
that
and
would give us
negative numbers. So if you
+6.
didn't
And
watch
since we're
that
gonna start
already,
thinking about
please
negative
watch
numbers
that
in this
first,
video, one way to think about that of positive.
and then come back to this explanation that I'm going to give now. So I'm going to continue. Hopefully you did watch that YouTube video. What we're going to look at today is multiplying positive and negative numbers. And I'm going to try to tell it as simple as can be. You guys are smart, so I think you're going to pick up on this pretty quickly. When you multiply a positive times a negative number, you get a negative answer. And if you multiply a negative times a positive number, you also get a negative answer. So it's really just kind of taking these and flipping them. Positive times negative equals a negative answer. Negative times positive also equals a negative answer. In other words, different signs equal a negative answer when you're multiplying. Positive times negative equals a negative answer. Negative times positive equals a negative answer. All right, so let me show you some examples, though, so it's a little bit easier for you to understand, and then I'll show you what your responsibility is today. So if I was going to take a look at just problems A through L, I'm ignoring the rest of the worksheet here, and I'm going to multiply this positive 10 times negative 3. So really all I have to think about is I have a positive times a negative number. So I know my answer is going to be negative because I just went over that here. Positive times negative equals a negative answer. Okay. So I also know that 10 times 3 is 30. So my answer should be negative 30. Okay, so here I have 12 times negative 3. Again, a positive times a negative. So I know my answer is going to be negative. Then I just ask myself, what's 12 times 3? That's 36. Okay, so my answer is negative 36. And here again, I have positive times a negative. 1 times negative 12. Positive 1 times negative 12. Positive times a negative. I know my answer is going to be negative. 1 times 12 is 12. So my answer is going to be negative 12. Moving along, positive 7 times negative 2. Positive times negative. So I know my answer is going to be negative. Then I just ask myself, what is 7 times 2? 7 times 2 is 14. So my answer is negative 14. I'll go over a couple more. I don't think I'll have to go all the way over through L. This one's interesting because it has a 0. 0 times negative 2, well, this one, anything times 0 is always 0. So the positive or negative rule doesn't really matter there because anything times 0 is 0. So let's move over here. 6 times negative 11. Positive 6 times negative 11. Positive times negative. My answer is going to be negative. And then 6 times 11 is 66. So negative 66. So let's finish this row up through G. Positive 11 times negative 8. A positive times a negative. That answer is going to be a negative. 11 times 8, that's 88. So my answer is negative 88. And here, positive 12 times negative 9, positive times negative. I know the answer is going to be negative. 12 times 9 is 108. So my answer is negative 108. Okay, so let me show you some sample problems for that other concept. Okay, negative times positive, and how a negative times a positive also gives you a negative answer. Okay, so again, I have set off A through L, but I don't think I'll need that many. And understand that negative times positive still gives us negative answers. Okay, so negative times positive, I know that's going to be a negative. 5 times 8 is 40. So my answer is going to be negative 40. Negative 7 times positive 4. Negative times positive. That gives me a negative answer. 7 times 4. 28. So my answer, negative 28. Problem C, -9 times +6. Negative times positive. I know my answer is going to be negative. 9 times 6 is 54. So my answer, -54. And problem D, I'm going to pause after problem D. Negative times positive. -9 times +9. No, that's a negative answer. 9 times 9, 81. So my answer, -81. Okay, so positive times negative gives you a negative answer. Negative times positive gives you a negative answer, as we saw on these sample problems and these sample problems. So what I'm going to ask you to do today is you are going to work on multiplying positive and negative integers worksheet 1. You'll see the problems here. And I even give you the hints. Positive times negative equals a negative answer. Negative times positive equals a negative answer. And if you look, really, that means all your answers should be negative. So 9 times -5, that's going to be a negative. So you're going to have to type your answers down here. And then 9 times 5 is 45. So my answer, -45. And you see it kind of kicks those problem letters over. So just you might have to backspace them like I just did. 9 times -8. Well, I know that that's going to give me a negative answer. 9 times 8 is 72. Right? And I'm going to show you problem C, and then I'm going to pause because that's going to be your responsibility to finish the rest. Okay. 5 times -1. Positive times negative is a negative. -5. Scrolling down to the bottom of the worksheet. Negative times positives. Same thing where you put your answers down here. -9 times 3, negative times positive. Okay, that's going to be a negative answer. -27, because 9 times 3 is 27. And then B, -7 times 12. Well, I know the answer is going to be negative. 7 times 12 is 84. Okay, it's a little tricky. You might have to backspace a couple times just to get the numbers to line up. All right, so that is your responsibility for today to, you watch the YouTube video, you watched my screencast that you're watching right now, and then to complete worksheet 1, all of which is posted in Google Classroom. Any questions, let me know.